Hi and welcome back to my channel. This week we are going to be doing a calligraphy and hand lettering video. This is going to go over the basics of all calligraphy and hand lettering tools that you can use and ways to form your letters. So keep watching if you want to learn that. So the first thing we're going to go over is the pens and markers and brushes you can use. So there's two different types of pens, and the first one is a soft nib, which is a brush tip, like a paintbrush or the marker I just showed. Then there's also the hard nib that doesn't really crack under any type of pressure. It won't add any line thickness no matter how hard you press. This is like a pencil or a fine liner or like a Sharpie marker. There's also another pen, and this is a calligraphy marker. These are made specifically for calligraphy and are a little bit tougher to use, so today I'm just going to be going over pretty much the basics of the soft nibs and hard nibs. So starting with the soft nib, you have a Tombow dual brush pen, and this has a soft nib, and as you can see, when you press harder the lines get thicker, and when you pull up on the pen the lines get thinner. You can also do this with any type of brush like a paintbrush or watercolor. Then when you use a fine liner, it only has one weight, so no matter how hard you press, the lines will not get any thicker. So another basic to calligraphy is forming your letters, and when I'm forming my letters, I personally like to think of it as more of drawing a shape than writing my own letters, because my handwriting and my calligraphy writing are very different. So when you're writing a normal letter like dog, there is going to be a line that falls right above any lowercase letter, and this line is called the X height. There is also a line that falls below any lowercase letter, and it is called the baseline. This is what your letters sit on. So anything that is above the X height is called an ascender, and anything that is below the baseline is called a descender. Ascenders and descenders can be a little bit tricky in calligraphy, so I'm going to go through the whole alphabet and show you how I form my letters and the process of going through each letter to get to the outcome. So now I'm going to circle some letters that are unusual to, I believe, most people's regular handwriting and might take a little practice to achieve, because we don't often write our letters like this. You obviously can find your own style on how you want to form your letters, but this is just for me and how I form my letters. To put both those steps together, you want to start practicing upstrokes and downstrokes. Upstrokes should be as light as possible, while downstrokes should be as thick as possible. So this all depends on how much pressure you're putting on your pen. You want to practice this over and over again. Each letter of the alphabet has your normal upstroke and downstroke. So just go through and find what strokes you move your pen down on, and then just press harder on those ones. Now I'm showing the connectors between each letter. there should be a connector between each letter right at the end that goes up almost at a 45-degree angle, and you want it to be about the same angle at each end of each letter. So when you connect them, it looks very cohesive. Of course, if you don't have these calligraphy markers or brush tips, you can also use your fine liner and just draw whatever you want to, and then on the downstrokes add a little bit of thickness just by coloring in some lines around it. The last and final thing that you can mess around with when you get your calligraphy down is the baseline. So this is usually the line that falls underneath all your letters. But in some calligraphy and playful types of fonts, they have different baselines that don't really adhere to any specific rule. So you can see the first one's on the line and the second one has different baselines. Now to put all our steps together, I'm just going to do a little piece, and so the first thing I'm using is just the downstrokes and the upstrokes, thicker and thinner. The second line is going to be just normal hand lettering with a fine liner, and then the third line is going to be calligraphy with different baselines. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thanks.